Whoever opened this to the cover page.
Open what?
Whoever opened this division of.
Howdy.
Well, hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm on I-75 heading north.
We had to, because we're on the track. We're gonna be doing you sooner than later. We're
Oh yeah.
we sold a bunch of stuff today, and we had to move the studio around, so it's in its last position in the loft. Yeah, things are moving. So you're gonna have some roommates here for a little bit.
That'll work.
You're on the highway.
Yeah, I'm on I-75 coming back from Kingsport, Tennessee.
Are you gonna just broadcast from the truck?
Yeah, that's what I'm hanging
Is
out
Tony-
here doing.
Is
doing
Tony
a little-
coming?
I don't know. I ain't heard from him. We still got the Docket sound, so
All right.
you know how it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure Tony will be around. I ain't heard from him though, so I don't know.
He's in the chat.
He may be working games. Always in chat.
Yeah.
We gotta play a little Indian Outlaw here.
For you, my buddy. Choctaw.
Choctaw.
You know I can unmute myself whenever I want, right?
Yeah. Should be able to.
What's going on, buddy? You're
Shouldn't be
out
no
on
problem.
you're out on the highway.
On
Tony.
the highway, yeah, we got
Yo.
Tony.
we got added to three college games. We got added to 3 college game series. It's late Thursday night. We had a game Friday morning, 11 a.m., and then we had to do 2 today.
Yeah.
So it was like, wasn't supposed to be doing this, but here I am. But I made a couple $100 doing it. So
Cool.
it's all good. Good weather, sunny.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how is it in Kentucky?
It's good. Well, it's raining right now, actually, but
Yeah.
it's raining right now. I've got fucking pissing rain, but if it wasn't doing that, it'd be better. But I guess it's got to rain to make corn makes whiskey. Whiskey
Oh,
makes
yeah.
the women
That
feel a little
tune.
frisky.
That tune. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Anybody got any dockets like that? I can hit the button.
You know,
Is it me or is everybody so quiet? It's weird. And then the docket sound is like blowing me out.
oh, hold on a second. Let me
Pretty
see.
loud.
How's my?
Hey, Carl.
Can you hear me? Badhead, am I good?
You're pretty. It's like across the board. Everybody's like quiet.
Like really low, huh? Okay. Let's get this back. Let me try.
And
some
then the
gain
docket,
circle.
like I said, I turned it up, and then you hit that docket, and I just almost lost my eardrum, dude.
Two.
Yeah, that docket don't play.
Is that getting better for you there?
Not at all. I don't know what's going on. It could be my end, I guess. I don't know, but it just was weird.
Let me check the chat.
Sounds normal to me.
Matrix One, I see a Christian Gallo. How's my voice sound? I can hear everybody in here fine, but
5x5, Lowry.
Sounds good to me.
yeah, okay. Yeah,
Just
it's
me.
just this broadcasting thing is still like, I mean, even after all these years, it's still like you can't, if you have no monitoring system, you have no idea what's going out. You have no idea. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Yeah, it sounds like, I
Oh,
think
no.
we're pretty good. It's probably on your end.
Yeah,
Fathead.
that's what I mean.
Well,
Damn
you're
country
welcome.
connection.
Yeah, slow news week.
That's some
Only
bullshit.
well, here's the thing. Like everybody's starting to realize that all the promises made are not going to be promises kept. And you know,
From
like
who? From Peru?
Yeah.
no, just
Oh,
that,
yeah.
you know, the you know, from the list to you know, a bunch of other stuff that just didn't come to fruition. And like it's you know, like, you know, whatever you think, a red team, blue team, whatever, but there was they haven't produced, you know, and they're doing the same thing they did last time, you know, but we have a litmus test to like say, well, you didn't do it last time and now you're still, you know, not doing it. You know, all these promises and all these things.
Well, I know
mean,
he started talking about no taxing overtime right as I'm on day 20 consecutive working. So he's tickling me a little bit saying, hey, you know, you're about to work a bunch of overtime, no more taxing overtime. I mean,
Yeah, but he hasn't
I'm
delivered
definitely
on
gonna
any of that
remember it
shit.
if it
It's
doesn't
just been
come.
talking out the side of his face.
It's like
I don't know.
yeah, it's really bizarre. And like, but you know, then if you go down like Q-Tardia lane, then you're like, well, no, but they're really just playing. Well, they are actors. I'll agree with that part of the narrative. Everybody's acting. They're
They
just
got the
acting.
card.
Yeah, they got the cards. And it's so like the weirdest thing about like Trump right now, this is the strangest thing, is like his references to everything's flat. You know, he's done like 3 times now. And it's like, is that part
That
of the script?
battlefield is flat.
Does he have to sprinkle in the truth like along the way when he does these things, just so that he can come back and say like, well, you know, I told you, you know, but you didn't, man. You just kind of said it in some sort
You
of like
think they're ever
coded
going to
way.
come back and be like, "Oh, I told you." I don't
Has
know
he
if
been?
we're ever going to
Has he
hold
been
him to the
mentioning
fire.
flat or something?
Yeah,
recently?
he's
I
been
didn't
dropping
look him up.
flat into at least 3
Hello?
times. 3 times he's dropped flat into some sort of one of his, you know, coded narratives. You know who talks in code, right? He says things
Yeah, I
that don't
figured
make
there'd be
any
like a
fucking
robot
sense.
polisher video if he was saying it so much.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's like, come on, dude. I mean, like, so he's talking in code. I don't know if it's comms to like his friends or like his rich, you know, buddies in business, or. But it's like, we know what you do now, dude. We know what you're. So are you just playing games? Or are you just fucking with people? And it's like it's kind of hard to like not see that he's kind of fucking with people, you know, trolling, you know, for good or bad, whatever. And you know, like if you listen, yeah, he's a really good troll. That's for sure.
Testies. 1, 2, 3.
I can hear you.
All right. I went dead there for a minute. But it's better because the sound's better now. I dropped out and came back in. So it was definitely on my side. Sorry.
No worries. It's
Gotta love
BST.
it.
It's BST. We do whatever we want.
You know what, Larry? That's
always
some
have
bullshit. All
internet.
right.
It's some bullshit.
I was gonna
Did
ask.
you guys
like,
hear? Did you or see the? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
Oh, what was it? I lost it. Damn it! It'll come back to me. Go ahead.
Why you always lying? Oh my God! Stop fucking lying! Always lying to me. You're lying so much. You're making it hard for me.
I like that he just sings
I
like
just remembered. All right. So did you guys see that they finally came out and admitted that the Jabby Jew in the arm is causing cancer, and Turbo can't like openly admitting it? Like, it's
Really?
crazy.
On what?
Yeah.
Like on the news or and what?
Oh no, it was like
I've almost
mainstream,
heard that like
college
10 different times.
Yeah.
Well, I
They
mean,
did a study on it or some shit.
like what, like they're. I mean, it's a simple topic for me. Like you know, Fathead, I was like, I didn't really know much. Like, and I'm not Bible beating here. I call it the old dusty book, and it's good to know, right? It's good to know what's in there, you know, whether you believe wholeheartedly in it or not. And like, it all came together with me. I was like, okay, I'm going to look at this thing and I'm going to find out what it says about the word spell pharmakia, right?
Have you read it, Lowry?
I can't do chapter and verse, but I've been through it. You know, other than the baguettes, I just couldn't read the whole baguettes because it was just like too much.
I still haven't.
No, but the pharmakia aspect of allopathic medicine is really like it's actually did come true. They're like putting stuff in your body that you don't need, and they scare you into thinking you need to put it in there. And you know, I don't want to get you in trouble for medical stuff on here. I'm not a doctor, but I was on my way to becoming a doctor before I.
NDB actually is a doctor, so we're good.
Yeah, I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor of bullshit.
Doctor. Right, that's right. Right. But anyway,
love
right, you guys go.
bullshit.
I mean, Big Pharma commands a shit ton of lobby power. You know, they have all the money in the world, so they can just pay for people to make it, you know, make it whatever they want it to be. But like, I mean, I'll just tell you this: the only evidence that I have is I haven't put anything like a shot kind of thing inside of me since high school, because I had to take it in high school, and that was the only time I've ever been deathly sick. Right. And they'll say, well, that's why it built up your immune system, and then that's why you've never been sick. No, I don't think so. I think it was the shot that did that, made me sick. It was not something that was supposed to be in my body. And I never took anything after that. I don't do a lot of, you know, I take some vitamin C every now and then. You know, I might do a few other things, but like generally, I just kind of try to drink water when I'm thirsty and eat food when I'm, you know, hungry. And, you know, I just, whatever they're putting in this stuff, it's just like, it's poison. You know, it's not really that hard to kind of figure that one out.
You see all these future egg layers right here?
Mm.
I
How many-
accidentally took a
Not
shot
to
not
mention
too
how
long
cute
ago.
they are.
What's that, Tony?
You know how I got into that car accident, or I don't know if you know, but yeah, like a year ago, I got into a car accident. Dude, they
Mhm.
pushed that fucking tetanus shot on me.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah, I got
weird
it.
too.
Yeah.
I had it, I guess, when I was a kid, and I don't think I ever had it again. But it's like, when did stepping on rusty nails become this huge problem for people in the world that you had to take a shot in case you stepped on a rusty nail?
Well,
It's dumb. It's retarded. Now, if you're a
I'm
carpenter,
pissed about it too, because
You know-
tetanus just in general, I'm not sure if you really do need it, but the thing that pissed me off about it, it's not even just a tetanus shot anymore. It's called a Tdap. It's 3 different
Tdap,
shots in
yep.
one, but they still call it a tetanus shot. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
no, it's
I mean-
tetanus, pertussis, and what's the
Some
other
other
one?
bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about it is, like, remember when we were kids, we were all afraid of quicksand. It's the same concept. It's like, where did quicksand go? That was never a problem for anyone, unless you really are in the swamps and you really
Like
do
you
fall
live in
into.
the fucking jungle, right?
Yeah, it's like, wait till you step on a rusty nail. You have to take the shot.
You know, it's
Yeah.
funny you say that, Lowry, but I've done it twice in my
Well,
right
I mean-
through my shoe, right through like a couple of different times. So it's
Mm.
you know, I don't know.
But was that a growing problem, an issue that they identified? They're like,
Yeah,
people
no, I
are
really
stepping
don't.
on rusty nails everywhere.
No, it
At
wasn't.
least-
Allegedly, tetanus is everywhere. Allegedly, if you believe
Yeah.
what they say, it's not
I mean-
just on rusty things. It's like it's on everything.
I think I'm probably, after all the stuff that I've learned over the last 4 years and what I learned when I was in college, even in biology, it's terrain based. If you step on something and there's some poisons in it, it could make you sick. Yeah, but it's like, it's not like this thing. Like, there was an epidemic of people stepping on nails. I've stepped on a nail too, and it punctured. It didn't do anything to me or whatever. But was there just a wave of people stepping on rusty nails back in the 30s? And they're like, we have to stop this because we care about people, and so we want to keep you from dying from rusty nails. And I'm just like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my whole life. But they created that thing so that you would go out and get the thing. And then that's what they do every single time. They just do that. They just like create the scare, and then they will shoot the poison, you know. Anyway, ranting.
They give you that one printout of how much it costs that the hospital charges for the shot. Dude, I forgot what the number was, but it's fucking ridiculous. It's a money racket thing.
It's all
They have
racket.
so
It
set
all
up
is.
now.
It's a
It's
racket.
all crony capitalism, man.
And you got a bunch of boomers out there that still believe in this shit. And you just like, you talk to them, and you're just like, come on, man, did you guys just like lose the path back in the 70s or whatever? You know, it's like just preaching this shit. And it's like, you can show them evidence and they just won't even see it. It's almost like the programming is so thick that you just can't, you know, get through. It's like if you talk about FE, and if somebody's past like either a certain age or they've passed a certain degree of education, there's just no way to reach them. It's just like the conditioning is complete. And I think to take them out of that mental conditioning would be so painful for them. You're almost better off just like, look, I mean, you don't want to talk about this. Like, you just continue believing in Spaceballs and you can just do your thing and whatever.
A lot of people just don't really care about it.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
some
know,
apathy.
I do care about it, but I mean, I got a bunch of buddies that don't, and yeah, you know, I wonder all the time why not. But
Yeah, well,
when they have children, maybe they'll care a little more.
yeah,
could
well,
be.
yeah, and it's like the thing for me was like really simple. It was just like you know, whatever your spiritual position is, that's yours to have. But like this is the topic of our time. You know, FE 2.0. It is the topic. It's everywhere all the time. We're walking around in it. We're looking at it. We're observing it, and we're living our lives within this topic, right? And
Why 2.0?
well, because this cosmology has been around for, if you look at the books, the history books, the big five religions all have a cosmology that's enclosed in, you know, a version of flat. You know, that's all across the board. You've seen the meme, you know, Tony, with like, you know, every single religion across everything, they've got the same drawing. You know, so this is not new. This is 2.0. We didn't come up with anything original here. We're just looking back and be like, oh, that's interesting. Just only in the last 100 years did this heliocentric model actually come into education. So, you know, if you step back from it a little bit, like we're not doing anything original. We're just waking up from an amnesia.
You know, I do have one hell of a docket I'm crafting up for next week. Yeah, I got something which might make it, you know, I really think, who knows if we're round 2. You know, we could be round, who knows? We could be round 20 or some shit. But who knows? Either way, I'm setting up my
there's no
docket
way to
for now.
know. There's no way to know because like we're only just going off what we can find on the internet, what we can find in books, and there is that interesting. Somebody found an encyclopedia from like the early 50s that describes a firmament, and it was published and it was out there, and then they just stopped publishing that section of the encyclopedia, and I can't remember what it was. Somebody's got it out there, but
Might have that.
Yeah. You know, it's just one of those things. It's like, you know, now we're like this WWF thing that's going on in a certain corner of the internet, which I'm not going to bring up. It's just like, now it's just getting silly pants. But like, you know, I was comfortable with this, you know, 5 years ago. The first 5 years I was not comfortable with it. And now I'm just like, well, okay, you can think whatever you want to think. But like, you know, we did enough of the work that like we can sit back and watch everybody bumble over themselves and make asses of themselves on the internet and let them do it. I don't care. I
like learning stuff, you know. I'm down to hear everything out. I'm still just a young up and comer, you know, learning in this world.
Kristen says she wants to know what you were going to say. Sorry, I was ranting.
Kristen is just definitely, she might be my #1 fan. So yeah, she always wants me to talk, but I ain't got much to say. Actually, I even have a mild headache today, and I almost fell asleep at work. So I'm on day 21 of consecutive work tomorrow. I may call it an early day for myself, but
you working for an early retirement?
Well, just for today. But yeah, I have worked 15 years at the same job. So
right.
But I'm not staying until retirement. No. Just what I'm doing now.
That's
what
cool.
Up, FE Nation? And hi Jay, nice
hi, Carl.
to see you over here.
I talked
Carl, I think you're muted. Rookie mistake.
You're muted, Carl.
What?
Hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
How am I muted? Am I muted?
Now you're not muted. You're good. 5x5, Carl.
You're good now.
Yeah, okay. I about to say I shouldn't have been muted. I was trying to keep this thing away. It's starting to rain here, so I went outside so I could get some peace and the quiet time with my BSTs here. But I got a docket.
Yeah.
Docket. We got a docket.
Bong, bong.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, NDB might be driving.
Stopped away. Bong,
he might
bong.
be driving. So he's like,
I got you.
He's on I-75 right now, doing something.
Cool. Right on. That's
there we go.
There it is.
Do your thing, man. Be the free man that you are.
It might do it. It might do it a few times here because I hit it like 3 times and it didn't make a noise. There we go. There we
One
go.
more.
Carry on.
One more.
One more.
That's it right there.
My docket got locked up.
All right. So anyway, as I was okay, so I'm gonna let y'all know. So anyway, as I was you know, I did a live on the eclipse the other day, right? It was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
From start to finish. And anybody knows that when you see the moon, right? that it always comes from the east, correct? Yes or no?
From the what we would consider the art.
Yeah,
The art.
what we
Yeah,
see
east,
from the
south,
east,
east.
Comes in.
it
Yeah.
comes from the left. If you're looking south from the north,
Yep.
it comes from the left and
Yep.
goes to the right
And we understand that as
every
arc,
time,
an arc.
no
east.
matter where you are, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is part of my claim here, and I'm going to claim it. Okay. So we know it goes from left to right. Okay. Now, as it's going to the west in its circular pattern. Okay. So if before it gets totally south of you, according to a compass or whatever, let's just say, right? And you know where south is because you know where north is, right?
Mhm.
Now, does the moon ever, before it gets to past the south position, start looking like it's lowering in the sky? We know it's not lowering, it's just, but it is. Ha ha ha. As it's going, because it goes above and the land, it gets higher, and above the water gets lower. Depends on this. That's why it jumps up and down. That's why you see the sun like in the north when they got the 24 hours. It's going up and down because it's over the water, it's over the land, it's over the water, it's over the land. So over the land it gets higher, over the water it gets lower. Depends on the distance from it. Okay, but the other day during the eclipse, and you can watch my video, I've got documented proof that it was not fully south. It was still like southeast. Okay. And it started lowering in the sky. And what I thought was a curve is what it did is it came down in a V pattern. It kind of like it was coming west, but it started coming down. I got that on video. Okay, so it started coming down at an angle and it went inside the atmosphere. It really like I would say like a shadow of a ball, and you could see it in my video. Plus, I got a bunch of fucking pictures to prove this. You should. Oh my god, I'm getting ready to release them, and plus as I was doing my live, where the constellations was supposed to be and stuff like that, you can see we looked at it and I showed where it was supposed to be. Totally different. Okay. And the moon was coming down at an angle, and then it did like a V pattern. And as it was coming up, you could see it struggling. I had it on all kinds of different, the P900 is a bad puppy. Y'all know that. It's the first globe destroyer, right? But anyway, as you could see the moon, it was crazy looking, and it, I'm telling you, it came to atmosphere and there was zero, and everybody in the chat agreed. They was looking at it too. 0 planes. And I'm infamous for planes by the moon. That's all I'm telling you. Think about it. Look at my videos. I got planes that they're near it, but they're near it. I want to get the ones in front of it all the time. But there was 0 planes flying around that moon. And I filmed it live for 3.5 hours. And that's impossible. So that's my claim.
Tell us about
Period and done.
Carl. What do you like? This is interesting to me. Like, yeah, all that stuff is really whack. And like, I again, the sun and moon are complete mysteries to me. But
and there was no full. My videos, as I was looking at it, there's no full. It came down, but the top of the moon was still lit. It never was full totality. It's like it came down inside the atmosphere, and then it rose back up out. we're not spinning, and I'm just going to tell you straight up right now, the reason the moon is lit up because of the shadows. A light source, turn a light bulb on, you will never find any shadows on that light bulb, especially something that's coming from the inside of it. It's only the sun lights it up, and that's why you know it's a flat plane, because the sun is over there on the other side and it's shining through straight to it. It's not like underneath it, and that's where you can tell where the sun's at because of the moon. Any given time, all I gotta do is look at the shadows; they'll be angled. It's like, okay, because this, like I said, the sun gets lower in the water, higher on the mountains. And I watched it last night, the other day, man, and I promise you, that fucker lowered and it should have came over me, because the night before it was over me, and then like the next night it was south of me, way south, and I was like wondering why. And then it started lowering in the sky. You can tell by my video. Like I said, I had to lower my camera down because it was dropping in the sky, and then it came up like a V and then shot off to the right, like it should be, towards the west.
Mm-hmm.
Craziest thing
Gotta
I've
see it.
ever witnessed, man. And I've got several of them. You can look at all my videos. I got all kinds of different eclipses, but this is what I noticed on this one. And I was
On the eclipse day, you're saying what? Did it take you saying a different path than it normally does?
Yes, sir. It went south, way south. It went way south that day. I got pictures. Because you know that's what I do, Tony.
Oh, I do know that's what you do. Yeah.
I claim it. Yeah, I'm claiming it. It was way south, and then it went way south, and then it like started going down, literally down, and that's in the southeast of me. That's impossible. It should only go to the right, but it lowered in the sky. I got it on video. So
Definitely holler when you throw that up. I want to see what you're talking about.
well, all you got, it's on there.
Or
Just
you
look
said
at
it
the
was a live
eclipse.
stream, right?
Yeah, it was a live stream, bro. I got it on
Okay.
video, and you can see and everything. You can see it, and I talk about it and what I'm seeing, and I take pictures, and I'm showing you the best I can, because sometimes, like I said, the P900, your pictures doesn't really, it will show you things, but sometimes just looking at it without taking a picture, just examining what's on that screen is some of the best optics you'll ever see, bro. I promise you. It's fucking insane. It shows you stuff. You'll say, I'm going to take a picture of that. And it won't show you what you're actually looking at for some reason. It's different. It's totally different. So, in blue mode, man. Ooh, man, that's a bad puppy. That's all I'm stating. That's my claim, gentlemen. Any more questions?
I don't know. I'm trying to hear it. I'm gonna be re-listening to this. I'll double fact check you. Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Well, like I said, I got it on video. I got pictures, man, and I got pictures of where, like I said, the constellations where it said it was, and I even pointed out, like it says the stars are here, but the moon was lower, and the stars were higher.
But something as big
The
as
moon
being
lowered in the
wrong
sky,
place,
bro. I
that's
promise you, that motherfucker
huge.
came right into the
So,
atmosphere. At first, I
Jesse.
thought it was shit, but it's not.
Now, what do you think about that view from the moon of the eclipse? Did any of y'all
I'm gonna
see
shut up.
No, who put that out?
NASA.
Oh,
No,
nobody. I'm
I
just
didn't
gonna
see
do
anything
it.
like that.
I'm just gonna do it.
They say they put
So
that Uber on the moon.
I said enough for now. But yeah, listen what I'm telling you. These are facts. I look at my video. I got pictures, man, and I compared one of my friends was there with me. We compared his data on the phone as we was looking at it. I was taking pictures of it, and it said it was here, but the moon was here. So yeah, there's a discrepancy regardless of the situation.
We're
Regardless.
back.
So what's the deal with the blood moon though? Like, what does the heliocentric model say about the blood moon? Why
Yeah,
is
well,
it red?
Rasta,
It's just
Shadow
did it
of the
show, like, a
earth.
red moon
Shadow of the
on that
earth.
video?
Shadow of the earth.
Earth
But
shadowing.
that earth shadowing, but that's not what it is. It's not earth shadowing. I promise you. It came, there was no planes flying by it. I got pictures. The moon's not far away. You seen it on high altitude balloons. Just go look at a with a balloon with a moonshot on it, and it's always there. Flat Earth Banjo, it looked into his videos. It shows you the moon and the sun doing a circle. Look at the moon, man. It's fucking close, and it's not big. It's only about 2 miles in diameter, bro, and it's stuck. And Zach can tell you about the Gaussian plate thing. He's the best at that. But now I see and showing you, Good Times for All. Go check out his channel, yo. Props to Glow Busters, Karen B, and everybody there can't explain it. But wonder if somebody is observing it differently and looking at it at a different perspective, and noticing other things and showing things that other people aren't seeing or talking about, and it brings a whole different perspective of, I mean, everything is very close. I know we're not spinning, water's level, regardless of the situation. And like I said, man, it's electromagnetic. Yeah.
Always
Good
wondering
Times
about the
for
moon,
All.
Rasta.
Show me that shit, bro. At 2022, I filmed him. It's on my YouTube channel. Check it out. He gives the explanation of it. I'm filming it with the P900, which is a bad puppy, the Globe Destroyer, of course. But anyway,
well,
thank y'all very much for having me here.
We didn't get to
Yeah,
see it up
Carl.
there because it was overcast. We had planned on taking chairs up to the roof and looking at it, and nope, we're not allowed to see it. They just probably sprayed the shit out of everything. And Nicole found her vintage cameras, and so she's shooting lots of video.
2009.
Yeah.
Say hi.
What was you saying, Rasta, about NASA saying you can see it from the moon?
Yeah, or NASA or whatever they put on they say they put on the moon. They sent back a shot of the eclipse from the moon allegedly, and made it look like
that was real footage, huh?
It looked like a like a ring of fire eclipse is what the picture looked like. But yeah, it looked like they could fake it easily, because obviously there's nothing out on the moon. I mean, if it was on the moon and it could see us, how can we not send to see whatever that rover thing is with the telescope from the Earth?
I don't want to interrupt anybody, and I'm probably talking too much, but hey, I can't hear anybody else but Tony.
You can't hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, Lowry, Nicole.
I can hear you.
NDB, I can hear you, but I can't. Is Rasta Bear in here?
You can't hear me
talking.
Yeah, I can't.
I can hear
Looks like
Rasta.
I can't hear
I
him.
can hear Rasta.
Okay, and and
That's weird.
as long as
bullshit.
everybody else can hear me.
okay, all right. Well, I can't hear him. Okay, so I'm going to be quiet.
You know what's interesting, Carl, is the one thing that nobody ever pays attention to really is like the old photography, and they had the alleged pictures from the moon and the Earthrise and everything. They didn't get the size of the Earth right in that picture. It's like showing up as the size of the moon. It wouldn't, if that was actually what was going on, which it isn't.
Yeah, it would be huge.
The Earth would be
Wouldn't it be fucking huge?
gigantic compared to what the moon looks like in the sky. And no one ever thinks about these basic, simple, boiled down, logical things. That thing would be huge, dude. Like not even account like all the bullshit that NASA does anyway. But like these simple things, I'm like lately after all this bullshit that's been going on, in the community, it's like just boil it down. You got like it's really simple shit, and like don't even get lost in these conversations about the sky. Learn about the sky for sure, as much as you can. I think it's kind of unknowable except for it being a calendar and whatnot, but it's like, what do we, what do we have? We have very, very simple, basic things that we see, it's like water, sun level, all that shit. And after that, it's just a bunch of people blowing hot air out of their fucking faces. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
Does that count as a docket,
agree.
NDB?
And and
What'd
beyond
you
that,
say?
He
Does that
said a
count as
bunch
a
of
docket?
people are blowing hot air out of their faces.
Yes. Docket.
and
I know that
And beyond-
I got I've sent it out to many people, Lowry, a picture from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a screenshot. Karen B has it. You probably go talk to her. So's got it.
You can put it in our. You can.
No, it won't let me actually. I could probably send it to you, but I could send it to Nicole. Nicole Show.
Yeah, you can send it
hold
as
on.
an email, and I can
got
share
your
it.
emails. We've just been really busy with the loft, and I haven't had a chance to like sit down because this whole.
Yeah, I didn't get a response from you yet. That's all good, girl.
No,
Ain't no big deal. I know you're busy.
I'm sorry. I should set up like I'm sorry. Nicole is unavailable right now because she's leaving Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And packing up Lowry's loft that he has
Yeah,
been in for the last
that's
20 years.
Yeah, and anyone else that we
A
haven't
lot of
responded
bullshit
to.
there, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're gonna be down in your area, guys. Probably sooner rather than later. So we're making the great exodus from NYC after a lot of years.
There's going to be an upcoming BST where we just like pop up on NDB's back. We're like, hey.
Yeah, there's gonna be some
excited.
interesting times ahead. But
I have a docket though.
She's got a docket. What you got?
What in the world in the winds was going on in Texas?
Oh, the dust storms.
Did you
see that shit,
did
guys?
you see that? All the semi trucks flipped falling down.
No, I didn't see shit.
Listen, I lived in Texas for a long time, and
Have you ever
that
had
shit
a windstorm
bullshit. Back,
Tommy was
let me
Texas.
tell you, we had an ice storm down there. It shut down there. Everything. Nobody could drive. I was out driving in it because I know how to drive. I was born in Michigan and stuff, and I live in the hills and stuff. But yeah, nobody down there knew how to drive into it, and it was bad all the way from Dallas, Fort Worth, all the way into Shreveport, all the way over to in the Mississippi. Where's the name of that little town there? Right there on 30 coming out.
It is kind of crazy. Tommy popped up for the Texas docket. What up?
Oh,
Right.
catch us up on your case. The docket.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Y'all hear me all right?
Yep.
Yeah, you good?
Tommy, just tell the truth.
I don't hear him.
That's what I should have did, but I panicked because I've never had a drug charge in my entire life, and so I threw my little containers of dabs across the highway before the cop got there, and I thought, okay, no problem. The fucking firemen and paramedics saw me, and as soon as the cop got there, they went and ratted on me, and the cop went across the street and found my little containers and arrested me for it.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, and so I've been a legit medical patient here in Florida for 5 years now. I was on my way to California.
You need to get off that.
I was on my way to California where it was, totally legal. I wasn't smoking in Texas or on the way, and then I get in a car accident, and that happens. So I went to court, and they were dead set on putting me in prison for 2 years for less than 3 grams of THC.
Wow.
And so the only deal they would make was 4 years probation, wouldn't even come down to 3 years. And then I told the judge all of my medical problems, issues, and I just pleaded with him to allow me to still be able to do my medical marijuana while I'm on probation, which Florida has no problem with that. And he said, no, I wouldn't feel comfortable with you being on probation and being able to smoke pot whatever. And so they wrote it in on under my conditions, no exception for medical marijuana.
You made the contract with them. I hear you.
Yeah,
That's some bullshit, Tommy.
You listen, never do a contract with them. You tell them you're the sole heir and you're the executor of your house. And that's what you tell them. You're the sole heir and executor of your house.
What
you understand me, Tommy?
Being in a car accident on the side of the road.
Everything.
No, Tommy, that's a terrible
everything,
situation.
brother.
Yeah, but wait a second.
Yeah.
So the state is putting you on probation for having a minimal amount of THC.
Yeah.
Texas.
They have no right to do that.
Federally, it's legal. And you have your medical marijuana card. So
you don't need any of those cards. You don't need nothing.
Texas doesn't recognize another state's card.
You have your medical green card. You were traveling across states. So you were going through like a dry county or something like that.
Well, they have medical marijuana in Texas, but there's hardly anybody on it. And then Texas is trying to ban THC altogether right now, besides their little tiny medical program.
Dude, fuck Texas. Texas should just assassinate. What's the word? What's the word when you leave the country?
It ain't like the people in Texas. People, I've had a lot of cool people in Texas. It's the establishment in Texas.
It's the politicians.
Mm-hmm.
The DA. I mean, she looked like she was. I just kept thinking, this lady would probably eat somebody's baby right there in the court. I mean, that's the feeling I got from her, the vibes I got from her.
Because you're an infant. They consider you an infant when you go into court, dead and an infant and everything like that. What you got to do is you got to go in there and establish yourself as the living, breathing man. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you are the sole heir and executor of your house. Okay, that's what you need to establish, and you need to get a stamp.
That's hard.
Well, I think Tommy. I know. I saw you. You had to take so many trips down to Texas, and I really think you were handling it as good as you could. Yeah. But man, does that suck? What they fucking they're hitting you with Texas rules, even though you're not in Texas. It's fucked up.
Yeah. The Florida doesn't have to honor that. They can still allow me to, but I don't know if they're going to yet. That's the thing. I'm gonna do my best to, get sympathy out of these people here, because they will let you smoke all the pot you want, here. If you get in trouble here and you get put on probation, you have the card. They don't give a crap. You can piss dirty every time, Texas has got a problem. I think this country's got a problem because there shouldn't be any states that are that different. I mean, 2 hours away from where I got in a car accident and got busted in Dallas. Now you can have up to 4 ounces. This just passed a couple months ago. 4 ounces, no ticket, no nothing. You can have your car can smell like it, and they can't search your car anymore. But yet 2 hours away, they wanted to put me in prison for 2 years for.
Yeah, that's a corporate law. And you don't get paid. You don't get paid by their corporation.
In Oregon, here you can have pounds of it, and there's shops on every corner, and you don't need a card or anything. It's just so whack that in this day and age they still play these games where you cross an imaginary line, and and you get in trouble. It's just bullshit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's whack. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. I know how much you love it and how much a lot of us, we just use it and it makes us feel good. But you use it for medical purposes.
Is he coming?
I've heard you go down your list of ailments before, and you genuinely really need the weed, and so it's really heartless for them to not sympathize with you. I mean, you don't want to use pharmaceuticals.
I don't.
And the whole pharmaceutical thing is just such a racket, and it kills so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And you have access to good, clean ganja that that actually makes you to where you can function.
Yeah.
And it's a threat to your existence to not be able to because it makes it to where you get so used to being medicated on the ganja, and it allows you to do your daily routine. If you take that away, it's a threat to your health. And your
I can't even hardly sleep at night anymore. I mean, I used to eat RSO every night, and I would sleep like a baby, and I wouldn't have seizures. Now I have quadruple the amount of seizures I would have without it. So I even told the judge, I mean, I went from having like 1 or 2 a year to a dozen a year. You know, that's a big difference. And you're going to just torture me for 4 years.
That's bullshit. That is bullshit. And you should actually appeal that to Social Security. Are you on SSID or anything like that?
Yes, of course I am. Of course.
Okay, you need to call. So you need to call the Social Security. You need to call Social Security because that's federal agency, and they'll be able to help you appeal that. Because if you're like moving from place to place and like you go through and the laws are like stupid with states and then the federal laws, there's like everything is changing all the time. But there is I bet you can appeal that. That is bullshit. That is bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the deal they made me sign says I can't appeal anything.
Exactly.
And if they violate me, I have to go back to Texas, and it'll be right to sentencing. No discussing anything in court. They said.
That's bull. Wait, what?
Yeah, the deal that
but the whole thing is, Nicole, he signed a contract with them. Once you make a contract, that's it. No more contracts.
No, it's a plea deal. But if you are in pain and you can prove that you have issues, then you can say I was not medically sound because my medication was taken away, and so therefore that signed thing that I signed could be null and void.
Yeah, because when you sign a contract with them, you're giving your authority for them to be the executor of you. Yeah. You're the administrator. They're the executors. So they're the ones that controlling you. They're going to tell you, well, if you don't do this, we're going to do that to you. Yep. And you agree to that. Once you agree to that, don't agree to nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had me going back and forth to Texas once or twice a month for almost a year. They broke me down. That's what they did. So instead of 4 years, it's really 5 years because I was supervised for this whole damn time since the accident.
That little bit of weed, that is so fucking
Yes. Think about it, man. Somebody supervised you, bro. Somebody supervised you. That means you have no control of yourself.
Yeah, but if you lived in another state and you were like quote unquote prosecuted, which is a plea deal, then you would probably, like, if you were moving to another state, you're supposed to be on probation in the state that you're living in, but on the Texas law. So I guess it would still be supervised, but that's a complicated situation, and you should
actually
have
the states
a
are
right
countries.
To an attorney.
You did really well, Tommy. I think.
Are you a veteran?
Really well.
No, I'm not a veteran. I did work for the military. I was a civilian contractor, and a DOD.
That could help you. But like, I would call Social Security and talk to them about that. They might be able to. And I would also file a complaint with the ADA.
Mm-hmm. Well, I paid a lawyer. $7,500. I hired an experienced drug attorney, and then at the last minute, I mean, talking literally the last week, they switched my lawyer to a bankruptcy lawyer. Gave me a bankruptcy lawyer. Doesn't know nothing about drugs, and this guy just caved in totally to the state and the judge. You know, oh my God, yeah.
Because you let him. You let him.
I know.
That's
I was ready for
you let him, brother.
I know. You're right. I let him, but
no.
Me, you know.
I don't think you let him. I think they
don't ever capitulate to anything, brother. Ever. No, I'm not signing your contract. As long as there's no harm. If you've harmed nobody, there's been no loss or no injury to anybody, there's no crime. Remember that.
I agree.
Common law, baby.
Something similar, years ago. I had to drive not near as far as to Texas, back and forth to these court dates. And that's one thing that's absolutely ridiculous now, too, is why couldn't you just attend court via Zoom call for everything other than sentencing? Like, why couldn't they just have you just a Zoom call to save all the commerce of going back and forth? And then, on top of that, like they should give you time served for all the time you've been on supervision, as opposed to like how long's your probation for now?
4 years, starting Monday. 4 years.
4 years supervised probation.
Yep.
4 years for 3 grams
Damn.
of
Yes. You can look it up. That's all there is.
What? Texas is wild, and there's other states too that are just as wild. Like
Georgia will get you too for pot.
Yeah, Georgia. I mean, in Virginia, where I used to live, and now it's all legal there. But like it was bad. I had friends go to prison for like an eighth of weed. Back in the day. And here in Oregon it's completely legal, but if you want to go to Colorado on a road trip, you have to drive through Idaho and Wyoming and Utah, and all 3 of those states they even have billboards. They're like, we're looking out for you. We're sitting there watching for people who look suspicious to pull over, and it's whack that they'll go after people for herb because they can smell.
Yeah, going down the road, smoking a joint, right? And you done nothing wrong. That's what I'm getting at with my statement, Ross the Bear, is that exact point. Is that they have nothing. I mean, there's been no harm, there's been no loss or injury.
They let all these other people
bring it to common law.
All these other substances, like the fentanyl and all these other things, that are just flooding into places like Texas and other states like that. And, they aren't able to do much about that. And it's just, it's wild, the hypocrisy that, some people thought like that when Trump got in office, that was one of the first executive orders he was going to do was legalize herb all across the states. Yeah. And that would have been awesome if he had, but like that, it obviously shows, he read that snake poem so many times during his campaigns, and people weren't listening. They had their, their hopium, and they were all just blinded by the MAGA movement, that they couldn't see that he was deceiving. And, yeah, it's wild, and I'm sorry that it's good talking to you, Tommy, and seeing you haven't been on stream in a while.
This is the first time I've even joined a show in quite a while. Yeah, months. Kristen wanted to know about my lawyer situation there. It was another lawyer in their firm that they switched to. It wasn't like another firm, Kristen. So it was another lawyer.
Yeah, but you paid them, correct?
I paid him $7,500 thinking.
Okay, who broke the contract? They did by giving you a different somebody that didn't know what the fuck was going on. Mm-hmm. So they broke the contract. So you need to let them know that. So you need to file some kind of a claim against them saying that they broke the contract. You understand what I'm telling you? And then that's going to open up a whole different ball game.
Dealing with attorneys, like they are obligated to do much of anything, and they have ways of backing out. I mean, look at Diddy's lawyer.
Because
like
he let him
deep into that case, and then he must have seen something that was like, I'm not fighting this case no more.
He said he didn't want to take it to trial. He kept telling me, I don't want to take this to trial.
Because they don't want to take it to trial because they have to. Okay. You have to call SSDI, you got to call Social Security, and you have to file a complaint with the Disability Association. File a complaint with the Disability Association. If you need help, I can talk to you about how to like the verbiage and stuff like that off screen, but you have got to appeal this because that is way too much of a sentencing for a very minor crime. That's a fucking misdemeanor.
And hopefully, like it goes well with your probation officer, when you meet up and actually figure out your terms, maybe they'll be lax with you about it. But
they're not going to be
you know,
lax about it. They're assholes. They have
yeah,
things up their butts.
when they have Texas, you know, to deal, it's just so stupid. I hate when, you know, the man has to dictate grown individuals and tell them how to live their lives. You know, we're supposed to be the land of the free, and we're anything but that. You know,
land of the free. Bullshit. Okay, well, on that note, I'm going to give the headphones back to Lowry, and I'm just going to say, like, I just want to give a big, huge shout out and thank you to Daryl Davis of Flat Earth Farms, because that's what I'm smoking right now, and it's fantastic.
Nice, Daryl.
Yes,
I don't do this and get this out of the way. Today's show. Oh, go ahead. Today's show is sponsored by FAFO Schwartz. That's FAFO Schwartz, the fuck around and find out company. Due to our contractual obligation to FAFO Schwartz, we have to play a small commercial, short commercial, but it'll come and break our legs.
I've just got a quick docket, and then I got to jump off here myself. So I'm gonna drop my docket.
And NDB #1 fan.
I was just doing an Instacart, and you know, that's what I do for, you know, to make some extra cash around here. I go grocery shopping and I deliver it. And so I get to this person's house, and the guy opens the
I can't hear you guys. I don't know what's going on.
Opens the door, and he's like 6'2", and you know, normal sized guy. But then I need the ID because I'm delivering alcohol to him, and it's under his wife's name. So he says I have to go get my wife, and so his wife comes to the door, and she's like the tiny little, she's probably not even 3 foot tall little midget. She was cute little midget, but it was
midget,
interesting.
though, yeah.
Yeah, a tiny one.
All women are cute. That's all I'm stating.
Yeah,
all right, you get a bonus point for having a midget in your docket.
What's that?
You get a bonus point for having a midget in your docket. Okay, continue.
All right.
Right on.
It was just such a fast and just a beautiful love story. You know, like, I love that, you know, that they just paired up like that. But it also, you know, it makes you wonder how things transpire at times, you know, when they're doing things. But you know, it was really cool to see. And so I just thought I'd share that. It's inspirational and also fascinating. So that's my docket.
And that you thought about how they get down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, you would too. Like one day I was doing Instacart, and I delivered to this guy. Well, I delivered to this apartment complex, and the maintenance guy down in the lobby, he didn't have arms. He didn't have either arm. Like, he was a no-armed guy. And so, like, then I had to use the bathroom in the lobby. And when I came out the bathroom, that was the first thing I thought of, was like, how does he wipe? You know, you just have those questions. It's just natural, you know, functionalities of things. So
I got a buddy with no arms. I've never wondered how he wipes, but you make a good point. I never wondered about that.
Yeah, exactly. How does that go down? Like, I really wonder that.
I'm good buddies with him. I could probably ask him. I don't know if I want to ask him.
You should. It'd be a good conversation. Or maybe
he's probably gotten asked it a bunch.
Maybe he'd be like, "Well, sometimes I need a helper. You want to help me?" See how good of a buddy, I don't think so. How good of a buddy you really are. All right, well, I'm out of here. I just wanted to stop in and say hi to y'all.
Not that good. Definitely not that good.
Enjoy the show tonight. Nice talking with everybody.
Peace out, man. Have a good day.
So, love you, Tommy. Hope your thing goes well tomorrow.
I still can't hear y'all. I don't know if y'all can hear me, so I'm probably gonna have to get out of here. And
I can hear
I
you,
need to get a
Tommy.
new computer. This
We
one
can
is
hear you, Tommy.
ancient.
Check, Tommy. Check.
My bad.
All
Oh,
right,
I
well,
can't hear us.
All right, man.
see you later.
Peace, Rasta. All right, NDB, I do have a docket, and then yeah, I've been like half asleep all day, so I'm probably I'll hang a little longer, but I have a docket, so hit me with the docket.
Bong bong.
Mm.
Doc,
All right.
it is.
Go.
Dong dong.
Oh, you're roboting a little
Okay,
bit.
are we
there,
done?
Tommy.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Okay, so we're good. Here, dealing out of the almanac, the 2025 almanac. It says a couple things for today. It says that today is an Ember Day. Do you know what that is? Anyone here ever heard of that?
No.
Mm-mm.
A what day?
Ember.
Ember.
An Ember Day.
An ember.
Oh,
day.
like the fire, like
Embers of fire.
Well, I
No.
guess it means there's 3 days of fasting, and it's Wednesday, Friday, Saturday before the start of the
Oh.
season.
it's Ramadan and it was Purim yesterday. So yeah, that's 3 days of fasting.
3 days of fasting.
On the lunar calendar.
I checked. It's March, then June, and then September, and then December. But yeah, all those months have 3 days: the Wednesday, Friday, Saturday as like a religious fasting day. So this is like the last day of fasting. It says for an Ember Day. Yeah, I never heard of that until now.
That's interesting.
But then it also says after that, says beware the Ides of March.
The Ides of March.
Ides.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
an
Ides
old.
of March.
That's from Julius Caesar. The Ides of March. They also say on March,
What are you doing, Lowry?
weather-wise, on March, they always used to say, in like a lamb, out like a lion, and vice versa, which meant like cold. I think it was a weather reference, but basically, it only works for like, I guess, when you're in the winter regions of the realm we live in, which would be okay. So that means that's talking like you're in the inner circle where we are, because that wouldn't apply to say Australia, right? But it would apply, I guess, at some level in Italy, but not really. That makes it all weird. There's a bunch of stuff about March that's strange, and then you have the whole calendar shift, which is, you got a lot of people out there, in biblical land who thinks that April 1st is what we understand as Christmas, and the New Year, that sort of thing. So, like, yeah, March is bizarre, and
There's a lot of different days people say is that April 1st, the start of the year date. There's a lot of different days.
and there's the September 11th. September
list.
11th birthday as well for Yeshua. So it's like, yeah, there's a whole camp out there that says
I never
September
heard
11th is the day. So like,
Are you serious?
There's circles of people that talk about
Yeah.
it. I am not making a claim by any,
I never heard that. I just am asking, like, did
Me
any?
neither.
now it would make sense to me, like as far as like the way that the spiritual battle goes on, that a big slap in the face, that day, what happened on that day in New York, that they would pick that date to do a spiritual slap in the face to
That was his fucking birthday.
who's?
Derek's the one that traumatized me.
Oh,
That was
right.
his birthday. Like,
Really,
that's
September
fucking
11th.
weird.
Yeah, it's weird. But like, yeah, there's a bunch of strange things about the calendar being shifted, and like daylight savings time, and like, all these things that like to get you out of your regular rhythm, your light rhythm. I don't even understand this, Tony. You have to explain this to me. Arizona doesn't do daylight savings
No,
time.
they don't. So how do you?
Yeah, we
say-
don't do that shit.
So like, what happens when you like fly there? That's just like the time, if you arrive there, is just their time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like you flying out, but you can't really.
Part of the year it's this time, and part of the year it's that time, right?
That's
Like-
going to be a wicked case of like
so,
bizarro
part of the year
time
it's 3 hours
confusion.
difference, and part of the year it's 2 hours difference.
I've never really had to pay attention to it until now that I'm in this YouTube game where everyone else is operating on what time noon is and what time 5 o'clock is. So now I
Right.
just adjusted on like what you East Coast people have as your time.
Oh, that's so
5
interesting,
o'clock
dude.
I don't have to
somewhere.
worry about.
Dude, Tony, that's really interesting, because like now that we're all talking freely, relatively freely on the internet, like we have to think about what time it is for the people that we're streaming with. Like we have this guy from
Yeah.
Scotland, He does the Loft podcast, and he's kind of coming up in the community, but it's in Scotland. So like we always have to plan around our shows to talk. We have to talk to him on April 6th on the Sombrero, but we also, when we talk to Alex Michael, we have to like do this whole schedule shift, but the time does line up. This is what time it is here. The sun is right where it should be at this point in time, say it's noon or whatever, So
well,
like,
I even heard from someone today that they don't change the date, the time there until like the 28th. I heard from someone in the UK, I think. They don't change their daylight savings time yet. So,
yeah, and isn't it weird? Like, how would you know if you didn't live there? So like, it wouldn't be a thing. It wouldn't be like a starter conversation kind of thing, because you don't normally talk to people way over the pond, right? But we do, because we talk to people all over the world. So like, we're having this unique experience of like, we're actually talking to people of what we would consider sound mind, but in different countries. And we're like, yes, I definitely want to be on your show, but it's going to have to be at this time, because it's obviously we're 24 hours ahead if it's Australia, right? So you have to make this whole shift in your schedule to like get them. But it's happening. There's a lot of people talking to people over the pond now, and everyone's like sort of like chirping, and they're like, okay, well, we're going to do these shows, a little cross-pollination with shows that are overseas. And like if you can overcome those distances, like when you're talking to people that are of the of the FE land community or whatever, that you start to like make these connections that most people in our known history in the last 100 years never even had. They mailed a letter and somebody would get it maybe a month later, and so their whole calendar.
Yeah, I still don't get how fucking the pigeons would work. How do the pigeons know where to fly to?
I think that was bullshit. I mean, I think they might fly like locally really somewhere.
Don't. Like, would you have to drive the pigeon somewhere, then say fly back to the house?
Yeah.
How do you get it to somewhere? Like, I makes no sense to me still.
Yeah,
anyone's welcome to call in and
drive it somewhere.
I, no
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, we just drove it over there,
Yeah, we had to drive the pigeon to the spot so we can get the letter back. Yeah. I don't get it.
I think there was a really big push, especially when the Fed got started in the early, 20th century, a big push to get everybody locked into the same time scale according to their plan. In other words, what works with their financial system. They needed everybody to be locked in on the same time point every day so that their trades could work, so that their boats could get to the same places at the right time. Because we're talking capitalism here, right? That's like they every single penny counts to some of these psychopaths. I'm not opposed to capitalism.
Psychopath.
I'm opposed to psychopaths. You can guarantee that. But the thing about it is, you got to understand, the way these people think.
Why so serious?
Yeah, that money is everything, man. And like even like I'll tell you about our landlord here. It's like it's the Hasidic Jewish population here in the city. They don't understand anything other than money. Money is everything. There's nothing else.
It's Chabad. It's
nothing
Orthodox, ultra Orthodox.
It's like everything, like the Bible would say this is evil. It's every single second of their day is decided by a financial decision. They don't have the capacity to be creative or to do anything outside of the mechanism that is, where is the money at? I want that money and I want all of it, and you don't get any of it. It's really that way. This is not me being an anti-Semite. It's just what they are. They are that, and they are very ethnocentric, and they don't share.
They an ultra Orthodox Jewish person is not allowed to look at a woman, talk to a woman, say anything about a woman, or God forbid, take money from a woman.
Can't shake hands.
You have to, like, you can't touch me, you can't talk to me, you can't look me in my eye.
That guy's not going to get hired at any restaurant. What if a girl comes in?
They don't work at restaurants because they have all the money. They don't have to.
Okay. Lucky
it's
them.
like that.
Did she just give me a $200 fucking?
Sorry, we're managing a loft sale at the same time of talking
I didn't have to
shit.
use my AK.
Page is still blowing up. Today I didn't even have to use my AK. I gotta say it was a good day.
See, sometimes I consider it a good day when I get to use my AK because it's a lot of fun. No,
I'm waiting for the day where you don't play that song because you actually had to use your AK.
All right.
Why do they call it an AK?
AK, it's
Like,
automatic.
why wouldn't they call it an OK?
Automatic
Like,
something.
You know, like, oh, it's okay to have a machine gun.
I mean, it's Russian,
I've
right?
heard it. I forgot what it is. Oh, hi, Kristen Gallo. Thanks for hopping up.
Okay, I want to share this that you didn't tell about, Tony.
I know, because you're the
Hi,
master
Kristen.
of this. I can't explain
Hi.
it.
So, you guys want to hear something weird?
Yes.
Mm,
That's a great Docket noise. I love it.
Docket.
It's kind of a Docket, but I watched this new show. It's called Paradise. Okay, and it's about, there's a cataclysm, this giant super volcano erupts, and then of course all the world leaders capitalize on it and nuke the whole planet. But the super rich knew about it and built like this bunker in a mountain.
Okay.
Now here's where it gets weird.
Mm-hmm.
The head lady who built the whole thing, her code name, like her CIA name, is Sinatra, right? The bunker itself is built like how you guys think like flat Earth works. You know, like it has the dome and the like a giant light that artificially creates the sun, and then the sky is CGI. It's like a whole thing.
Like the Sphere in Vegas.
Like Truman Show.
Kind of like the Sphere in Vegas, but like way more advanced. You know, like they have actual grass growing, they have plants growing because they need to stay inside this mountain for like ever.
Right.
But for the hell of it, like I play with gematria. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's where you put. So for the heck of it, I was like, I want to see what Sinatra means if I put it into the gematria calculator. And do you know what it equaled?
What?
Flat Earth.
Shut up.
No way.
I swear.
No way.
Did you put in Stargate? Go down to Stargate.
Try Stargate.
Try
That's a fun one,
Stargate
too.
and Gematria. Great.
Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying. Lying to me. You're lying so much. You're making it hard for me.
I thought gematria was numbered.
It is numbers. It's numbers that equal certain letters. So certain words have the same numerical value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's like why when like COVID equaled toilet paper, that's why everybody was getting toilet paper during COVID. Like it all overlaps.
And it's a weird rabbit hole because you can get yourself into like some trouble on it too, because it could take you down some places that aren't actually real. But
right. It's just for like, take it with a grain of salt. But sometimes when you're going to look for something and then something just like realistically, like the whole thing in this show was like based off of flat Earth models, like the way that it works, everything in it.
Yeah.
And then I just so happened to be like, that's a weird CIA name. Like, why would they even pick that? And just for the hell of it, I was like, well, I'll see what it means. Maybe it means something. And it was completely by accident. And those are always the best finds.
Yeah.
Where are you cooking all the numbers to find out this intel, Kristen?
A calculator. Put it in.
And a calculator. You can do that. You know what? Marty Lee's got me started.
You say a gematria?
I don't know about all that.
Well, you don't have to know about it. I know about it.
Well, it asks. It's kind of like all the numbers are like the universal language. And
yes,
so,
numbers are how everything works. Numbers.
I've always liked numbers.
Yeah, well, what they tell you and what is reality is totally different. I showed that on Rico's 10 Falls of Bro the other a couple weeks ago.
I haven't heard that show.
And I promise you, what they're telling you about like Jupiter is supposed to be doing this or whatever, and what they tell you, I guess if it works for you. Well, what I'm saying, it doesn't matter. Astrology and all that stuff with the cards.
It has nothing to do with astrology.
No, it's not. I mean, it kind of has a little bit more to do with like numerology, but it's not the same.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah,
it's almost like
it's not similar. It's kind of like I don't
Kristen,
know. I don't know how to tell the difference. Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain the difference between numerology. Numerology is more like breaking down the numbers, and then gematria is more like adding, like the numbers are a symbolism. Like gematria is more of a codex than
it's a codex, basically.
Right?
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Somebody told you lived on a spinning space ball too, so
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Christian. I wanted to ask you this. Like I always felt like gematria was sort of an artifact left over from if you believe that there was a Tower of Babel and that the languages were confounded, the numbers still remain. Like if you notice, like if you look over into China, you look over into Japan, you look into most countries, the Roman numeral system, the number system still exists in most of these countries. And that's
the numbers that we use are still based off of the very beginnings of the Sumerian, the way the Sumerians used numbers.
Yeah.
Like that has never changed.
Yeah. And that's the one common thing that we have with all these other places in the realm.
It's numbers.
Is numbers. So like what you do is like you go on rabbit holes, and yes, it will take you to some places that make no sense at all, or they're just stupid. And then sometimes you're just like, whoa. You're like, whoa. So like the numbers are the things.
Well, see, what I thought that they did was they put a little Easter egg in there, because I don't think that was an accident. I don't think that they used a code name Sinatra to equal. Like, I don't think that any of that was on accident. I think that was definitely.
They're at war. When we say they are at war with us. The other side, the yin and the yang, whatever you want to call it. They're at war with us.
Well, I mean, the writers, like, I thought they were putting in, like, because they know we do this now. Like, they watch us, they watch everything we do.
Mm-hmm.
So they put things in there so that we go look for them, like. They do it on.
You know what's a really interesting? Here's a docket. You ready? Oh yeah. You better give me another one for this one.
I'm fucking quick on it. You say the D word?
Whoa.
So okay. So
motherfucking champ.
Here's what's really interesting, and this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And this is I'm not gonna trash talk people and all of the drama that happened this winter or whatever. What's really interesting that's happening right now is there's clearly an entity that is infiltrated.
Yeah, was.
That's infiltrated our community. It's clear as day, and it's funny to watch them write their scripts for their people that are talking for them, which would be the names we're talking. We're starting to see it, and we're starting to break it down a little bit, and we're going through the talking points, and we're like, "Ooh, that's interesting," because there's a script writer behind at least a couple of these folks.
Well, sometimes I think that a lot of the time those bots that pop in and it's a brand new one is really just AI. It's not even, it's just a scripted bot.
I suspect it is. I do. And I was like, at this point in time now, but because we've been through this for so many years, Christian, it's like when you can spot not just a narrative, but like a rhetoric or a talking point, you start to see it really often, and then you can't unsee it. It's just like when we see the globe in on TV programs, or we see the globe, popping up where it should never pop up. These are little pinpoints that are saying, "Hey, we see you." Well, they do see us. They don't let us know that they see us, but they see us because the pressure on this community is coming down hard. And it's funny because it doesn't really bother me. I'm totally comfortable with the fact that I'm not spinning. Totally comfortable with it. And I'm actually a happier person in the last 10 years. The first 2 years were rough, but like now I'm like, okay, but to watch them try to use their psychopathic scripts and get somebody to bend over and say them, whatever it is. I don't know what's going on. It's funny to watch it unfold now that we were given these eyes to see it. Like all of us we should feel really, really good that we can see it.
See, that's
exactly,
the whole thing,
Lowry. Nobody should
and I never
ever
claimed to
gave
be.
you.
What I always say is I don't know. It's of no, like I don't care that much about what the shape of the earth is. I don't have any hate, but what I don't believe is NASA. Like I do overlap in the flat earth community with a lot of the things.
That's the biggest part of it right there.
In like today I watched this, the space station stuff, and then when they were supposed to dock, all of a sudden all the cameras go down. Okay, well, why? And then when they're sending these guys up, they're in these massive suits, got the visor on. And then I watched this little YouTuber girl, and she's like, I'm the 100th woman in space. And they put her on the rocket ship to send her up on that Amazon guy's rocket ship. Her hair's done, her makeup's on, no helmet on, no visor on, like no oxygen. And she's like, I'm in space. They kind of need to get their consistency together, because you can't send these like Air Force people up there and say like it's very dangerous and they're going to hit these G forces and they need all this protection in these helmets, and then send up little Susie Sunshine with her hair and nails done. It just makes no sense to me.
Narnia land bullshit. And then I will say this to the end of the day. It's like, if you just take a moment of your time and look at the rocket sled footage from out in the Southwest, they were doing rocket sleds at 6,000 miles per hour, and you see how fast that thing moves. Nothing can live at the tip of that thing at 6,000 miles per hour, and yet the metrics they have of these things that they're shooting up over the ocean and dumping them somewhere are running at 17,000 miles per hour. You would melt to your seat and probably just melt all the way into the rocket and die at that speed. It's just ridiculous to understand the physics of anything that they're doing. They're just spreading a religion in the form of rockets and rich guys with fucking lots of money that send rockets up to space, and then they go to Burning Man and fucking party and take ecstasy, and like they were like.
See, and that's another thing that's been.
Think of a
bothering
50
me.
mile an hour gust. It's really simple. Just a gust of wind at 50 miles an hour. What does it do to your car, to you, if you're standing out in it? That's on. This is 50. Now imagine 1,000
people
miles
have no
an hour,
concept
and
of
it
what
would be
that
no comprehension. Exactly.
You know,
that's all I'm stating.
And you go,
Yeah, that's what.
Go ahead.
The rich guys, like the super rich guys, we have known that the super rich guys have been controlling everything forever. And now all of a sudden it's like, there's oligarchies controlling our country. I'm like, that ain't even fucking new.
No, it's never
Fuck
been
out of here.
Matter of fact, the people that you can see are low-hanging fruit. They're not even.
Yeah, they're not even the ones who were on the stage. They're the actors. They're the ones putting on the show.
Yeah.
I can never figure out who the puppet masters are, but I know.
But if you
I'm not even going to lie about it. I'm so tired of hearing about Trump that like I'm just over it. It's like everybody thinks like he's the end all be all of everything. And that was the plan in the whole time. Because if everybody's keeping their eyes on him and being like, oh, he's this, he's that, you're missing like 50,000 other things that are going on.
Why was Donald Trump only with little X, which is supposedly Elon's clone boy?
I didn't hear that.
Oh, you never heard
Don't
that?
be falling for the banana and tailpipe trick.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't pay no attention to none of that because I feel like.
Yeah, but Donald Trump was with just Elon's son, and they walked from the White House to like Marine One.
It's a show.
And it was the weirdest
just
thing.
a show.
And Elon Musk's little kid, and Getty made a point to put the photo and post the photo of little X jumping up, just like Elon Musk was jumping up when Donald got shot.
See, I know nothing about any of this because I refuse to give these people that much power. Like I don't pay any mind to it.
We can observe without giving them
no,
power.
because that's how they get their power is when everybody's talking about them and watching them and giving them.
Yeah, but
actually, she's got a point, Chris.
We can observe without giving them power.
Yeah, like
you can't delete them.
I'll watch the show and I'll laugh my ass off with it, but I'm not giving them any bit of my loosh. They're not getting shit from me, you know,
or you, because you see.
I mean, I just have way more shit to do than worry about what Donald Trump did yesterday.
But you see through it, so
indeed.
You see through it, so you don't give them power. Just because you're aware of it, that makes you see through it. So
I think it's kind of fun, guys. I love being able to see it now. And it's just really it's so funny to watch, like when you can see exactly what they're doing and you're like, oh, that's hilarious.
Well, here's the part that I've been looking at. It's much bigger, right? So far there's been Silo, there's been the Fallout series, and then we have this Paradise show. Okay. All of them are about bunkers, about the population being forced into bunkers, not because of some unforeseen tragedy, but because like the super rich guys decide that we all need to be fucking nuked. That's what I'm paying attention to.
Yeah. And well, here's the thing. There's still the fear factor psyop thing has always been going on, and they just make new ways to do it. And they know we're spotting it a lot quicker. Like, remember the Netflix thing that the Obamas produced? Like, we had that thing broken down within like 2 hours after it was shown. And they know that, and they know the psyops aren't working anymore. They know the same program of the psyop isn't working. They're trying for these little elaborate sort of like, you know, what I would call very subtle psyops now, where you're just introducing the idea of bunkers, very small amounts, even though the whole narrative of the actual story that they're telling you doesn't make sense and it's stupid. But they just like they introduced globes to everything. A globe just suddenly pops up in a scene. And there's no reason for it to be there. The same thing as these subtle psyops that they do. It's all about fear. And like that's the great thing about FE. And that's the one thing that I'm getting to now in my life. It's like, I don't need to debate people. I'm clear on it. Like I did everything I needed to do to be clear and safe and honest about the way I'm looking at our reality. And now it's just fun. We can just look and watch the hilarity unfold and like they're all just pitching psyop bullshit fear. You know, you could go woo woo and you could say they're farming loosh or whatever. They don't get my loosh. None
I
of
think
it.
the main thing to it is just it's about how you see the world yourself.
Mhm.
And
Indeed.
I feel like going down this road has me in a fine spot of seeing the world. And yeah, it's all personal. So even if anyone else wants out, I don't care. Whatever. If you're out, you're out. Whatever. I don't care. That's not me. That's not affecting how I see it. You know.
I
I'm
think
welcome to any case on. Anyone can explain it as well as they want to, but how I see it, it's hard to affect that. You know, it's all about personal stuff to me.
yeah, and also it's like if you're happy and you've seen what you needed to see, like I don't really need to watch like a bunch of people act like WWF wrestlers on their podcast talking about flipping back and forth between now it could be it's just bullshit. It's just now the bullshit is complete.
Doesn't mean I'm
Hey,
hopping
Let
in the
them
ring.
wrestle. Let them wrestle.
I
Let 'em
have a
wrestle, I ain't
docket.
hopping in the ring. But hey, I did stay late. I'm even gonna go to bed. Pretty
Tony's
soon.
a
I've been working
legend.
every day consecutively, so.
All right, Tony.
Hey, I
I
have
feel for you there, brother.
I have a really quick docket about the Katy Perry Blue Origin space. Okay, so I was like, what date are they going? And so I looked it up. I was like, Katy, when is Katy Perry going to space? Because she's like a pop star, you know, like maybe she's gonna, I don't know, have a concert in space. Maybe they're gonna have a fashion show in space. Because if space was actually real, we would have Fashion Week space. Okay. I shit you not. Fashion literally. Anyway, I couldn't find
All-Star
I
Blazers.
couldn't find a date that she was going to space. So I asked Grok. And you want to know what Grok said? There is no specific nice. There is no specific date. They have not announced a specific date. All they did was announce that these women are going to space. They didn't create a date that they're going to space, which I find very odd because that leaves it open-ended. They just announce something.
Don't worry, when they go, they'll have their hair extensions in and their makeup done and no helmet on.
Dude, the only space is between you and something else. That's the only space.
It's in between all of their legs or something like that. Like you can't, like they're not going to go anywhere. They're not. They just announced it. All NASA is a gigantic like PR campaign. That's it.
And they're narcissistic, right, Nico?
They're narcissistic assholes.
Exactly.
So stop letting NASA gaslight you.
Yep.
Narcissistic assholes. And all their rockets are shaped like dildos. They're just giant dildos. I'm sorry. I don't mean.
Women like those, I think. The vibrating ones or something like that. I heard that somewhere.
I heard that. What was that? Oh, sorry. We have stuff everywhere. I set up.
That escalated quickly.
No, I set up this whole entire little set because there's so much stuff everywhere in this loft. But I was like, okay, we have to broadcast.
We need a studio set.
We have to broadcast for tinfoil. And so these are all the lamps in the background. We're just, yeah. And
make sure you got a top screen and a lower screen.
That's a lot of lamps.
I love lamp.
That's a lot of them.
Yeah.
We got like 15 lamps there?
No, Tony. No, that's not 15.
Okay, no, it's like 50, dude. Duh.
Okay. Do you want me? No. There's more. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a whole bunch over here, and there's some over there, and then everything else besides this. This looks like we're totally fine. But if I opened up the whole entire loft, you'd be like, "Holy shit!"
So it's like 15 lamps, maybe spot on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a candle, and 9 if the Earth is flat counts.
I thought you said the other way. There were more lamps.
There are. They're just off camera.
All right. Well, I'm saying 15's right. All right, I'm out.
Good night, Tony.
Good night. NDB later. Nico,
NDB
Keith,
number 1
Lowry,
fan.
Later.
We'll see you tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Later, Tony.
Later,
Awesome.
FE Nation. Kristen Gallo, thank you for hopping up. Fathead, peace out, dude.
All right, bro. Much
Good night,
love,
Tony.
man.
I will call you
Peace
tomorrow.
out.
All right, yeah, I'm open, ready for a call.
All right, bye.
All right, peace.
Later, Tony.
Peace.
Later.
Can I just give like a huge shout out to Tony Corrales, because I literally think he's like one of the sweetest, most lovely people I've ever met in my entire life.
Tony's awesome.
He really is. Like, he is literally Tony.
Why don't you go steal my woman, Tony?
He's
Hey now. Them fighting words there. And I was like, what?
He interrupted me because I was going to be like, besides Alex, Tony Corrales is lovely. So, anyways.
I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Mic
No,
check.
you didn't. But yeah, anyway, Katy Perry, she sold her soul and she now gets to go to space. And I don't understand why, like, that's a rite of passage. There's two people who apparently were in, astrophysicists or whatever that are women that are on this flight crew of 6. But like, I don't know. Did anybody see the SpaceX one that they launched? I think Kristen mentioned it earlier. There was this video feed and it was this live feed and it was just these 4 men just sitting in these costumes. Like they were kind of on a gondola, like they were going skiing. Like you couldn't see their skis, but they're kind of like dressed up like they're going skiing, which I don't understand. I guess maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I was thinking about skiing goggles and space hats.
Are you off on a
Stop
tangent?
letting me talk. Like nobody's talking. Nobody's even answering me. I'm not even here.
What?
Sorry, I'm trying to put my
Well,
children.
earlier,
See, here's this thing.
and,
Here's this thing you have to know about her. She's brilliant, and she also will take a tangent all the way to the end, and you will not even keep track of where she went. You'll just have to. Be
Oh,
like,
I'm following her.
okay. And like you're like, by the time she gets
I
done
got all
talking, you're
this.
like, what were we talking about to begin with? I don't even remember where you went. I was amazed while I watched you talk, but then I'm like, where's the subject and where are you at exactly?
No, sometimes I'll be like, do you know what I mean? And Alex will be like, no.
No. I'm
Not
just
a-
like, no, I have no idea
I was
what
like,
the fuck
did you
you're
even
talking
hear
about.
what I said? And he's like, no. And I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally fine.
So like that's an explainer that's a Nicole explainer.
but
right
he
there.
still loves you, so it don't matter.
She's
Disclaimer,
I've known her for years.
disclaimer, one of those things.
Yeah, it's a disclaimer. It's a Nicole disclaimer. So like if you guys want to go on
Nicole
a
is
really
for
trippy,
entertainment
crazy
purposes
ride,
only.
you'll never have a point, but she'll take you all the way to like all sorts of different fantasy lands.
And I will also validate everything that you think is fucking weird.
Yeah, she will.
Okay, so that's Narnia land, right?
Narnia. Well,
He
not the
always
Narnia
says-
land that we
he's
make
like,
fun of.
oh
but-
yeah, I'll go back to Narnia. And every time he says that, because I know that you guys have heard Lowry say, oh, okay, well, if you prove this, I'll go back to Narnia. Great. He says it. It's like a word track with him. And every time he says it, I'm like, Narnia is fucking real.
Somehow
Narnia
it's
is real. All right. Narnia is real. Give me a wardrobe. Let me walk through it.
Okay, see, that's what she already did it. She just did it.
You
just
are
again.
sovereign without what are they? Sovereign without
I'm sovereign and a soul.
there you go.
I'm sovereign and Nicole. How about that?
There you go. Sovereign Nicole.
I'm in an occult.
I'm a sovereign.
I'm in an occult.
I'm
I'm in
an
an
occult.
occult.
I'm in a cult.
Zulu talks about fear porn right here.
I don't want to
Sure.
join a cult. I am the cult.
We are the
Welcome to the Nicole.
The Nicole.
Nicole.
Because he does. He gets offended. He gets worked up. And he's the diva. He's in a permanent green room where he is. All right, let's do 845 because you know it's getting late. Sun's getting real low. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. With special guest Stephen Carpenter.
New York, with Stephen Carpenter in New York, New York. What's up? What up? You just, oh my God, you threw me off. That was good
That's
comment.
because I tried it.
Oh my God, how you doing, Stephen, Mark, Karen, Peanut? Good. Good show. Good show. Good fucking show. I've been enjoying the hell out of it. Good discussion.
Cool. Is that it?
Yeah. No, yeah, thank you. Good night. No, I had a couple things real quick. First off, no, not 2023 again, Mark. That would be horrible. Oh my God, fuck that. I don't want to go through that shit again. 2024 is where it's at. This is going to be the year. This would be, I think we'll get to see the special effects and maybe some good stuff will happen. I don't know.
The special effects.
Yes. I mean, it's all been a big joke and nothing's happened. I mean, not that I want to see people dead, but damn it, all the fear porn and there's no bodies in the street, no military trucks running down the road. I mean, it's all just fear porn.
I don't mind Project Bluebeam as long as it's done well. You know, as long as it's good production.
Yes. I agree with that.
Good.
Absolutely. Oh.
Oh, good old Zulu.
Fear porn.
He's having a good laugh right now. He's just having a good laugh. He's just like, look what I just left, and look what they're still up to.
Yeah.
We're still down here in the mix trying to figure out this place we walk around in, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you guys just, I don't know, go get a margarita and go to the beach and do whatever you got to do." I mean, I get it. I mean, I do. Like, we spend a lot of time like going over all this stuff because it's a really powerful topic, FE is, but like, it ain't the biggest thing. It's the biggest thing in our little this little 3D thing that we're walking around in right now. I think it's my personal opinion. But there's bigger things at foot, and it's like that's what's bringing me smiles is like watching this clown show unfold over this winter. Is reminding me is like I'm still me. I'm just still like a musician. I still have a good time. I like to crack some jokes, and like it ain't my whole personality. It's just what I'm looking at the world, and I'm glad that I'm not spinning. I try to impart that to people like constantly. I'm like, look, the whole spinny thing that they did is a thing. Like, if they get you spinning, you can't be yourself because you're too busy worried about trying to correct the spin in your subconscious.
I just put a.
Go ahead. You just put a what? Anyway, I was getting into ranting mode, but I was like, but basically, is what it is like everybody has this little thing inside of them that they are supposed to do, whatever it is. If it's raising kids, or if you're playing guitar, if you're, I said the other night, underwater basket weaving, or like whatever your talent is, doesn't matter. You're supposed to get up to that, but the way that they block you from getting up to the thing that you're actually supposed to do, which is inside of you, your authentic person. They get in there right where your eye meets the world. They did it when you were in kindergarten, and they get you spinning, and they spin up your subconscious, and you can't figure out what you're actually supposed to do. It's a warfield tactic. It's in the spiritual realm or in the subconscious realm, and that's what they do. And like, in the minute you stop spinning and you realize you stop spinning, you really get your arms around the fact that you're not spinning, then the world opens up, and it's fantastic. And it's like nothing but smiles for me, man, and a lot of good laughs. After the debacle that was this winter, I thought it was going to be a tragedy, and it's not. It's just turning into WWE nonsense, and whatever they were trying to do, they fucked it up bad.
It's WWF, I think, and we were flat.
WWF,
yeah, the flat Earth, TFE, the flat Earth. Think about it. I mean,
WWF, we were flat. That is some bullshit right there.
And I'll tell you something else too. A really special thing, like
zero sun in the south in the summer all night long.
Did you also like Carl? I know you were there. NDB. I don't think you weren't at Flatover this year, but like that thing that happened when that hurricane came right at us, we couldn't help but feel like it was pointed directly at us. I don't want to make it like personal or like, because I know a lot of people had a lot of struggles up the river there into Western North Carolina, but like we literally headbutted a hurricane for our biggest like thing that we do. And
the hurricane headbutted us.
Yeah, but like then we still like we were like, no, okay, you send a hurricane at us. We'll park behind a hotel beside the highway and we'll still keep going. And like that was a spiritual like like turning point for me. And like, I knew like this shit was going to happen in the winter. And I was like, okay, well, whatever, we're going to let this go. And now that it's unfolding, it's becoming just a farce. It's a farce. Like, you know, Jer, best of luck to you, buddy. But it's just like, I don't know what you're doing if you're just, it's about money or whatever, but like, you know, it's a farce. It's a total farce. And like, the more you watch it, the more you watch it unwind. It just feels like it's unwinding. Like when WWF or WWE, they did the NWO thing. I was talking to Marty Leeds and Sarge about this. It looks like they're turning like good guys into bad guys. That's like a psyop kind of situation.
Yeah, they're turning heel. He turned heel on Flat Earth.
Yeah, so and now it's just funny. It's just like I mean, Jared wants to call me. I'm like, call me, buddy. I'm not going to take you seriously. I think you can talk about any other subject, but if you talk to me about like cosmology, you know, just no, I'm not going to speak to you on that because you've lost the you've lost the map. You know. Anyway, so I was ranting again. You got to cut me off. NDB.
Yeah, I know. You know, when we got there, me and Valerie was there, and check it out, man. We got there the night before. We got a hotel room, right? And we're in there, and then like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, we heard something bang. It's like, what the fuck's going on? I was like, I thought the roof was falling in, right? Well, I opened the door, and the wind was like blowing 100 miles an hour. The trees were sideways. Okay. I just shut the door and popped a beer. It was the best thing to do at that moment. You know what I'm saying? And then we woke up the next day and everybody's, well, we didn't really wake up. We just went outside. Everybody's like, they're taking pictures. The sun was up a little bit. And I mean, things were just, all the tops of the trees were gone. We was like, well, I'm glad we got, you know, me and Valerie was talking about, it's like, we better fill up tonight, as you know, and that's what was through her head. I'm like, yeah, that's right. We don't have to worry about tomorrow. So we topped the tank off, you know, and the next day it's like, and then we called after all that, and we called Tony Coriolis. We went over there. We started hanging out there. Richard B was there. Xander, Stephanie, you know, Carol with K, and it was freaking awesome, man. And we got together, and everybody pulled together after that. And if you didn't have cash was king, baby. Yeah, straight up business. If you didn't have cash, I don't give a fuck who you were. You weren't getting crap. And we all just the camaraderie of everybody just pulling together, Lowry, like you said, and we pulled it off, and
it was a really good testament to the integrity of the core group there, because like Karen didn't even have internet at her house, but she could get a text message up to where we were at. We were at Crumb's place, north of her, like a couple miles, and she's like, "Can you get a message out to anybody?" And like we didn't have power, but I did have a little bit of cell signal, and you know, it was basically like all of us.
No, our story is like totally different. Like, we went to sleep that night. I remember waking up with a gigantic migraine. Rico got there. His truck was messed up. Nobody could turn on the lights the next day. We woke up the next day and we were like, they were all practicing the night before. And then we all went to bed. And then the next morning, no power, no nothing. There was like trees everywhere. And then Karen and Ted just kind of showed up at Emily and Crumb's, which Emily and Crumb had just moved in to Karen's mom's house that she wanted to rent. And then Karen and Ted came there, and then Karen was like, Ted, we need alcohol and chainsaws. And that was like my favorite part of the whole entire day, because you don't hear anybody say that ever. And it was just Karen. And she was like, Dad, we need to go get alcohol and chainsaws. So I went,
I'm your lumberjack, baby.
Yeah. So me and Karen and Ted went to Karen and Ted's house to pick up the alcohol and chainsaws. And then we still hadn't heard from anybody at the venue or anything. And mind you, the day before, Nate and I had gone and dropped off everything and unloaded the trailer because we were getting everything set up for audio. and the stage and for music. And then Alex and Chief Crow and Crumb and what's Crumb's friend's name? I forgot. Eddie Booze. They were all rehearsing, and then Rico, he had a whole shit show of a time on the way down there, and I can't even believe that he could even drive his car when he got there. It was just bizarre. And so the owners of
Rico's a hot mess sometimes. That's all I'm saying. Love the man to death. He's a hot mess.
He's Hurricane. I nicknamed him Hurricane Rico that day because we were in a hurricane, and I was like, dude, you're like Hurricane Rico. Like what? Like what the fuck? Like where did you come from? So yeah, but we actually
because we meet up with our Founded Earth brothers, so you know the deal.
Yeah, those guys are cool. We talked to them before. But yeah, the whole entire thing was crazy. And then DJ calls me and he's like, hey, so I'm stuck in DC because he's from LA. So, well, I'm sorry. He's not from LA. Let's just say California. No, California. So DJ was flying from the West Coast and he calls me and he's like, hey, and my phone is like dying. And I'm like, yeah. So we're at Crumb's. I think things are still going on. I think people are going to a hotel, and then DJ, I guess, got a hold. I don't know if he got a hold of you or Valley or Tony or whatever, but for some reason, everybody ended up at the Campton Inn. And it was just this really odd, like we could have, if that hurricane had struck the day before, just from what I know, on the way that the whole entire camp was laid out and stuff, and then going back to it later, apparently the people who own the camp, their whole entire house and everything got washed away in Asheville. So that's why we couldn't get a hold of them. And then when we went back later, it was like you couldn't get there. And if we were all camping there, if that hurricane had hit the day before and we all got our gear in there and everybody was there and communized there, it would have been really tragic because even like the riverbank changed, the whole entire like agriculture changed. What's that word for?
Well,
geology.
I got you. Yes.
Geography of the area.
Geography.
The anthropology of the whole entire area changed. Like the place where Alex and I were going to sleep in a tent was gone. It was in a river. It was like down the river, stuck in a tree. The tent, the whole entire glamp tent, which is the same glamp tent that they use for like fancy events and stuff like that. It's like a glamping tent. Like up at the top of the hill, it would have been, I guess, safer. But if we were all camping where we were all supposed to camp, that whole entire area was literally flooded and gone. Like we wouldn't have even known if the flood came in, and we would have been swept away in tents if we were there the day before. And I can't highlight this enough, but we are.
I was just telling him that about the camp. I was just telling him that today, Nicole, like how lucky that timing was.
We are so lucky.
Early Friday morning versus you already being there and it hitting Friday night or Saturday morning.
Yeah. Because the day before, Nate and I had gone there because Alex and I flew into Atlanta, and then we met up with Nate, the sound guy, and then commercial sound and video. And then we drove from Atlanta to Greens, wherever in North Carolina. And so Alex started practicing. Nate and I went to the venue, but I'm sorry, I'm doing one of those Nicole things and I forgot my train of thought. What was I talking about? I got a docket for that. I got another one.
Hey, listen, me and Valley Parks, and speaking of that, as we was coming over 40, there was some areas, I had the four-wheel drive. I had her side by side in the back of the truck when we was coming across, right? As we was going across, it was raining so hard here when we left. I mean, you could barely see, I don't know, quarter mile in front of you, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And as we're going over the mountains, we hit some spots up there where the water was on top of the road, close to Asheville, actually, where the 40 washed out. Some of those areas that we hit, the water was leveled up on the road. You could tell by the, it wore so much stuff down, so it's starting to level up because that's what water does in its container. It gets level. Never stick to anything spinning, that's for sure. And and the water was at least 2,
how do rivers
maybe
work
to
on a spinning
5
ball?
inches deep in several areas. We hit it, and the truck just slowed down. It was like, and you could just, and we was creeping through. But and I'm pretty sure that the time, it was probably about 2 hours or so after we didn't realize what was going on.
Yeah.
And we didn't, because when we got there, it was like, okay, well, you get there at the hotel, it's like, man, you pop a beer, you put on some music, you relax, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever you're doing, listen to a podcast, because that's what we was doing.
Yeah, but when in our whole entire lifetime has a hurricane hit that high? Yeah, they get tropical storms because they're, they get the remnants of it, but like the impact of that storm and how fast it hit was not.
Yeah, it was coming from the south, right? Too, right?
Yeah, it was coming from the south.
Yeah, it was. So how does, if we're spinning, how does the storm just go? It shouldn't be like, it should never. No,
I don't know.
Not if we're spending 1,000. I'm sorry, it don't work like that. I promise you.
It felt like a water volcano. It felt like a water volcano to me. Like, I don't know, how like volcanoes, they spew lava.
It was definitely a deluge for sure.
It was a weird thing. And I grew up in Michigan, so I'm not a stranger to, lake effect snow and to really weird weather, but there have been some anomalies that have happened in the last couple of years that have blown my mind. One of them was the Canada wildfires that waft the Canada wildfires that like waft the whole entire orange sky in New York. That was one of the weirdest things I have ever seen in my entire life. Because growing up in Michigan, you've never seen anything. Like, even if there were wildfires in Canada, I have never seen really a wildfire in Canada. And I don't know, this could be a docket, but I don't know if anybody heard about the Long Island wildfires that just happened. It just got completely smudged down in the news. But there was like a huge wildfire that happened similar to, they were evacuating people, and it was similar to like the Maui and California, LA fires that just happened. And it was like last week.
Revelation 6:13. Everything's coming closer to the earth. Okay, you can see it in the sky, and that's what I was filming. And it's just like I was saying about the moon, how it came out of the sky the other day, and I filmed it. I mean, so it came down. It was in the southeast. It should be going right after the south, and then after the south, then it looks like it's falling down. But it was coming down in the southeast of me. I know I'm watching it, and it was coming down into the sky. So, and we talked about this on Rico's Tinfoil Sombrero. And
I've never heard
now
of
we're
that.
talking about on BSTs, man.
I've never heard of Rico's Tinfoil Sombrero.
Thank you, NDB. Let's speak out.
NDB, #1 fan.
Come out here like a.
What? Everything is silent. Is it my fault?
No.
NDB, #1 fan.
I'm almost home.
Oh, you guys want to hear something really cool? You want to hear something really cool that happened today?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah.
All right. So, rented a truck to get all of our stuff. So Alex has lived in this loft for the last 20 years. I've lived in New York for about 18 years, and I met Alex about 17 years ago. So I've been coming to this loft probably every time I like left an apartment, and I was like, hey, can I crash with you? And he's like, yeah, sure, crash on the couch. And so I'd like hang out and like we'd crash on the couch, and it was fine. this shit, I forgot again what I was talking about because I went
We
back.
love chicks.
You got the truck.
Oh yeah, so we got the truck. Thank you. So we scheduled the truck, and I'm going to leave out the city that we're going to and the place that we're going to just for fun's sake. But the truck was it was like a little bit of money because we have to go from Brooklyn, New York to the middle of the country. And U-Haul sent me a text message today, and they were like, we're going to knock $700 off of your trip and give you an extra day and 300 miles if you tow this trailer and drop it off from Philadelphia to Cincinnati. And I was like, yes, thank you. I just was really excited about that.
Nice.
600, like $650, $700 to drop off somebody's trailer. Like, so anyway, if anybody needs some like extra money or something, U-Haul is doing some like driving things.
Oh, are they hiring somebody? See, that would be a contract.
They're paying it. It's a contract thing. So they're contracting us and paying for the insurance and everything to tow a trailer on the back of our truck because it is on the way to where we're going.
Oh, so you're going from Long Island to
we're going
the Outer
from
Banks,
Brooklyn.
right?
We're going to go from Brooklyn to the Carolina.
So y'all are not going to drive the truck down there personally?
No, we're driving the truck. We're leaving Brooklyn. And we're going
to driving the truck. They're going to pick up a trailer,
and then drop it off.
Whatever down in Cincinnati. They're going to drop it off, and then we're
going to drop it off in
Cincinnati. Why are you going in the middle of the country then?
That's what I said. Yeah, because we're going to go meet somebody in the middle of the country, and I'm going to leave that for a surprise for everybody later. Because we're going to NDB's, dude. We get to go hang out with him for a bit.
Hey, speaking about things coming up, jamming the plane, June 20th through 22nd. Everybody should come to Colorado.
Oh yeah, June 20th to 22nd. So that's June 20th through June 22nd. Don't forget to book your tickets to Jamming on the Plane.
Book now, forever hold your peace.
Book now or forever hold D's.
3 months here.
Forever hold D's peace.
Whoa, that just escalated.
D's peace. D's peace.
Book now or forever hold D's. I'm sorry, I can't. I grew up Catholic, by the way, and so yeah.
I want you to show me the way.
So Kristen was on here. She was talking about Sinatra and Gematria and shameless self-promotion for Tinfoil Sombrero, which I have no idea what that show is at all. But we have Marty Leeds coming on, and Marty Leeds is a huge Gematria person, and she brought up the Sinatra
Kristen,
thing.
You're going
and I swear this is crazy because I just asked Grok to do a deep dive about it, and there's some really weird anomalies in the numerology and gematria of,
if you believe all that crap,
simple Jewish and English versions of gematria, and they all kind of converge on some really interesting things. So Kristen, if you're still listening, you should check that out again.
NDB, we got a big day tomorrow, so we're gonna cash out. I think that's all of our dockets. Fun hanging out with you guys tonight. You want to? Yeah, and we'll
thank you, Larry.
We'll continue it.
Nicole.
We'll be in a new location a week from now, and it should be very interesting. Very interesting things happening.
We may or may not go live on Reckoner. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna tomorrow we're gonna do a early hour on Reckoner. Just that's the private thing it's not really private, but it's where we normally do our own rants and things that don't fit into the group swing. But we're gonna do that to lead up to Tinfoil tomorrow, and then Jeff, Daniel Falkenbach is on Flat Earth Subgenius. That's gonna be fun, and then we're
Daniel was with us at the Eclipse last April.
Yeah, he's a rad dude. He's super funny.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was.
He's a comedian from LA that went back to Buffalo and like had a complete life change. He's still super funny, but like he what's that? Who's that?
Who's that?
I think that's is that NDB's son or is his dad? I can't tell. He's not even listening. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna
actually. That's a great shot.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Look at that picture
the
that
garage
NDB has on his. Okay, so the next time you see us, we'll probably be like standing right there.
We might be in that garage.
Yeah,
next time you see us.
Yeah.
It's a little bridge to our next destination.
Hey,
NDB.
Where's that? In Kentucky?
That shot is fucking amazing.
Was that your dad?
What happened?
Who was that?
No, that's Jacob Rawlings. He was the other umpire that went with me.
Copy. I was just telling.
Wait, hold on. Jacob Rawlings. I feel like that's an author.
We were just telling people.
J.K. Rawlings.
We were just telling people
we might be. Potter.
We
might be part of the Rollins band.
Yeah. We were telling people we might be actually doing BST from that same garage, all of us in one room. In a
I'm
week
so
or so.
excited. I'm like actually really excited. So my best friend Carrie.
You know what? We won't make it Saturday because we won't even be there until Sunday. So it'll probably be 2 weeks from now.
No, it's gonna be Monday.
It'll be 2 weeks from tonight.
Can I come up?
No,
Where's that located?
10 days. 10 days.
It's a secret location.
Secret location.
We're not
middle
telling.
of
We'll
Kentucky.
tell you in private.
Damn it, Jim. Damn it, Jim.
That's privileged information. You have to like.
Well, that's okay.
You want that?
I got the destroyer picture anyways. Y'all haven't seen it, but you're gonna be seeing it shortly.
11.
That's my docket.
This show is self-destruction, y'all.
Yeah. Anyways, I love you guys. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, we'll probably be in that garage with NDB. More details. Carl, fathead.
I love y'all.
Zero, a bunch of important numbers. back.